Okay, for those of you wanting a video of the media center, so here's the cafeteria, and then right here you will see the outside of the media center. So come on in and let's take a look. Okay, so here is our, hang on, I'm catching the door, our massive space known as the Poplar Hill Middle School Media Center. So I'll take a second and kind of walk you all around and show you all the different things. Okay, so let's begin. Our first one, this will be where the laminator and the poster maker, butcher paper are all held. We have our announcements room, and these are all locked. We just had open house last night. Here is our sports section. We will have different, kind of signage, different decorations. Just went to Hobby Lobby, so we had some things on the shelf for open house yesterday. Then we move, this is our IT, Justin's office. Our backside, we're gonna start with realistic fiction, which is our second biggest genre. So they all have genre stickers. I went ahead and put the year that the books were published on them. So we have realistic fiction. And then that butts up next to our humor section. So we have 3 shelves. Also, on anything in a series, I also put book numbers as well, so we could tell what order they go in on the shelf. So when a student comes up and brings me this book, I'm like, oh, it's book number 14. Have you read the other books in the series? So that way we can kind of have those conversations as well. Fix that later. Okay, so that was realistic. We will head back and start over here. So we have romance. I went ahead and put some of my series on top. Our romance is very small, trying to find things that are middle school appropriate. So I kind of went with basic until I can do some more research. We then go into historical fiction. I do have some browsing bins for different series. Of course, we have our Alan Gratz, Escape From, Lori Hall Sanderson. Then, kind of wraps around. I have another series up here. So a few different books within it and 2 different bins. Okay, so that was historical fiction, wrapping around into adventure. So I've got my I Survived, Spy School, choose your own adventure books. I decided to give them a try to see what kids think. If it's successful, we will add to it. So we got a couple different types of series up in there. We got I Escaped, Last Kids on Earth, Still in Adventure, Series of Unfortunate Events, another survival series, set of different books. And then we left this as room to grow. So right now it is just a display area. So behind me, this will be our makerspace area. I will have puzzles, coloring pages, button makers, all kinds of different stuff each week. So we have our flexible seating area, our book displays. So we have our graphic novels over here. So I separated our graphic novels into a couple different types. So these are just regular fiction books, but they're superheroes. So I have our novel version, and then I have our graphic novels, superheroes above them. Then our purple section is graphic novels, but nonfiction. So we got the Hazardous Tales, Chicago Fire, different events throughout history told in graphic format. Our I Survived, History Smashers, History Comics. And then over here is our graphic biography section. So books about people in graphic formats. So I got a sign that'll hang up, some different things. So that's kind of a continuation from this section. This is our graphic novel, but just regular fiction, so stories. Sometimes it might be like, here's the Red Pyramid in graphic format, the Tin Man. Here's a sports series, graphic format, To Kill a Mockingbird. Kids love Five Nights at Freddy's, Babysitter's Club. Okay, so that is our fiction section of our graphic novels. This is my half of the circulation desk. So we have Rhineweed. Over here I'll have some different photos, probably travel photos. My computer, my checkout station will be created on top right there. We will have a supply station. This is a makeshift do for now while they finish the complete part to put in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to wrap around the outside first. So over here is fantasy. I had an amazing parent volunteer help me, and she did some dynamic shelving, and it looks so amazing. So she did a great job kind of separating different series. So here is fantasy, the largest section that we have, which comes all the way down. I left a kind of space to grow. We do have a small Star Wars section that will get a permanent house sometime soon. We then go into animals just to kind of pull them out of fantasy, to break that up just a little bit if you just want a story with an animal as a main character. So we got two sections. And then we go into sci-fi. So 4 shelves of sci-fi. Our whole back wall is nonfiction. This was probably the section that was the most fun to create, to see what is out there. I'm curious to see what the kids are drawn to, so that I can make sure that I have everything that kind of meets their needs and their curiosity. I'll also work with the different teachers, different department leads, figuring out what's both in the curriculum and what type of units they will be covering. So we will be adding to here. Here is our storage for our makerspace. We kind of had to flip things around from our original design. I don't know if you can tell, but from here to here, let's kind of zoom in, but that is our projector that will pull down. It was supposed to be closer to the doors, so we kind of had a different setup, so that's why we had to move our student classroom over here more. We do have another flexible seating area. We can kind of move this around. This is our other half of graphic novels, which is manga. So I have separated them by series. This is cool. This is actually a book from Japan. I have no idea what it is, but just to show students the writing and how it's written, you know, back to front, top to bottom. So I do have this out here. We have our different series, a couple books that I bought in Japan. So I bought that one. This is actually a Hobby Lobby find with this guy. Oh, this was from Japan. From Japan. And other Hobby Lobby finds. So this is kind of behind our desk. So we got some cabinets. Like I said, that will be a built-in. It'll look similar to this, I believe. I am lucky enough to have one of my former students. She was in my 7th grade English class, but Miss Sydney Ward will be my book wizard co-partner. Okay, so over here, we're starting with our scary stories. I need to pull those forward. You can tell we had people in yesterday. Okay, so we have our Five Nights at Freddy's. Can You Escape? So we wrap around. So more scary stories. Creepy, so Creep Over, so a bunch of different books within this series. You can't forget Goosebumps. I do have his autograph book, so I will put that out once I get a case to put it in. Then we wrap around to mysteries. So of course we gotta have the Inheritance games. A couple different series. You can't forget The Face on the Milk Carton. I got my bookends yet to come in. So mystery section was rather large. We're gonna try Nancy Drew, see how it goes. I only ordered some of the newer copies that were 2020 and later, just to see how they do. If you guys have not read Blood in the Water, you need to. One of Us is Lying. And then wrapping around to the rest of our mystery. And then we have one more kind of display wall as we have room to grow. And last but not least, so we have our biographies, but they're split up by type of person that they are. So this section will need a little bit to go through. We have sports, we have entertainers, we have elected leaders, people who have overcome different obstacles. So they're kind of all spread out until I can get some signage and kind of go through the different sections that we have. People throughout history. I have picture books, and I have 3 different sections. So we have got fiction, picture books where you just learn a fun story. We have nonfiction where you learn something in a smaller format, and biographies as well. So these will all be separated into different categories. Of course, we have the who is, what was section. We have our poetry. So I know some students just want poetry, so that way it's kind of across the way from our nonfiction, so they know that it is still in the 800s, but it is separated to make it easier for our students. Then we have our fictional myth and fairy tale section. So it is across the way from the 398s, but a lot of it is fairy tales that our students have, grown up with, just told in a different way. So this is our Poplar Hill Middle School Media Center. So as we add to it, move some things around, I will do some updates, but here's kind of the bare bones right now that we had for open house last night for anybody who was not able to make it. Thanks, guys.